Have you ever had this problem? You're in a Microsoft Team or Google Meet meeting and you put up a presentation. You're trying to explain to the audience about a certain point or a certain chart in your slide and they don't know where to look. You can't zoom in, you can't point in, you don't know what to do. Now, I have a solution for this. In this video, I'm going to teach you how you're going to install just one tool, and that tool will allow you not only to zoom into your point, to draw, to circle, to have an arrow, to have a whiteboard where you can draw a process flow or chart. It's that simple and will solve your problem on how to present effectively on an online meeting. Okay, the first thing you need to do is Google Zoom It. I'll put the link in the description below. So it should be the first result. I believe was developed by a Microsoft employee. So what is Zoom It? Zoom It is a screen zoom and annotation tool for technical presentation, including application demonstration, which means that you could actually zoom in whichever scenario as long as the display is on, whether it's a live meeting or physical presentation via projector. You can actually use this tool to zoom and annotate. So let's get started. First thing you need to do is download Zoom It. It's a very small file and I've actually downloaded it. And all you need to do is just double click on Zoom It and it will run. It doesn't require any installation, just like that. And if you are in the corporate environment where your PC is locked by IT admin, no worries. This can run without IT admin password. So that is a good thing. So let's look into it. The first step is actually zoom, which means that you can click on a shortcode like this, Control-Shift-1 or Control-1, it's really up to you to decide, and you can actually zoom in to the screen. Let's give an example. So here you have 2.0 magnification. So if I were running a presentation right now, so for an example, I have this presentation here. So I want to zoom in to, for instance, Mars. So all I need to do is press Control-Shift-1 to zoom. So now I can zoom in and clarify to the audience which area they should be looking at. And I can use my mouse to actually zoom in and zoom out. If you have a mouse with the scroll, you can actually scroll up or scroll down to magnify or decrease, to increase the magnification or decrease the magnification. So that is zoom function. So in order to escape the zoom function, all you need to do is press on the escape button and you're done. So now let's go to the second feature of Zoom It. So Zoom It now lies in your system tray. All you need to do is click on it, the icon, and click on option. So next we're going to talk about live zoom. And you'll be wondering what's the difference between zoom and live zoom. So in zoom, it actually takes a snapshot of the screen, the image on the screen, which allows you to annotate and zoom in based on that snapshot. Now live zoom allows you to interact with the application. For instance, I could click on this application and I could click on the links or the button to interact with the application. So, and you could at the same time zoom in. So let's try it out. So this is Control-4. Let's live zoom. So as you can see, I'm now zoomed in, and by using the flywheel on the mouse, you could actually, because I'm interacting with the application, so when I click the flywheel up and down, it actually moves to different slide. So in order to zoom in, you need to control up and control down to zoom out. Now, in order to exit is again pressing on the key that you assign, which is Control-4 in this case. So the next one is draw, which is Control-2. So which allows you to draw, annotate on the screen, and it has several other features such as you can even change the color. So let's get into that. So let me go into live zoom now with Control-4, and I would like to annotate the planets. So how do I do that? While being here, I could, number one, press Control-2 and then I just could go ahead and annotate. I could do a circle, I could do an arrow. Now blue doesn't look good with this background, so how do I change it? So I think yellow would be good. So all I need to do is press the Y key for yellow, and you can see the color has changed. Now you could see that the thickness of the line is quite thick, and if I want to reduce it, all I need to do is press Ctrl, and with the flywheel scroll it down, so you can see the button, the font or the size of the ink gets smaller, and I could annotate in a smaller width. How about other colors? So you could press R for red, and it shows red color. I could press P for pink, and I could press O for orange, and lastly I could press G for green. So with this ability, you could annotate easily while having a discussion with your teammates or with your students for the most part. And we have another option whereby it allows to have arrows, ellipse, square, and line. So how do we get that? So in the draw option, what you could do is press Ctrl and just make a box. So automatically a box would appear, and you could resize it. Now the thing about annotation here is you cannot resize after you have drawn. But if you made a mistake, all you can do is press Ctrl Z and it goes away. But how we wish you want to get rid of all the annotation on the screen, you can just press E, the letter E on your keyboard, and it erases all the annotation. So if you press Shift, in this case, you could make a line, a straight line. And if you press Tab, you could make a circle, or again you could make a ellipse. Now if you press Ctrl Shift, you can do an arrow. Now the thing is, when you press Ctrl Shift, it starts with the arrow endpoint first before the tail comes out. So if you wish to point to this, typically we would start from the endpoint then go to the arrow, but in this case it's actually the opposite. So you press Ctrl Shift again. Remember, this is the pointy arrow side of things, and then you bring it up the tail to your text, for instance. Okay, so that is how you annotate, and I think it's pretty cool. One last thing is, if you wish to type, you could just press the letter T, and it turns into a text format where you can type mass here, and you press T again to you press escape to escape from the typing format. So these are some of the features that you can use to annotate while presenting to your teammates. So I think it's very helpful. So let's escape from here. Now we have gone through live Zoom, we have gone to draw, and we have gone to type. Okay, another thing I forgot to mention was you could do a Ctrl+2 and annotate and have an arrow pointing out a few stuff, but it's kind of messy with all the text and images on the background. So what if you want to have a clean whiteboard and for you to explain easily to your students or even to your teammates? Or in the draw mode, all you need to do is press W and it brings up this whiteboard. So you can go ahead and start scribbling and putting up arrows and do a T and say me happy. Yeah, you could do that. And the best part is, once you complete your annotation here, you could do a Ctrl+C, which means it copies whatever is on the screen, and you could open any document. Let's open this, and you can do a V, and you could paste it. So the annotation is now available on your Word document for printing or emailing. If you want a black background, a blackboard, So if you want a blackboard, all you need to do is go into Control 2, click on K. So you get a very nice dark mode background, which you can then annotate again. So that's pretty handy, isn't it? And you can do a Control C and Control B again. So let's escape this and let's go back to the option. And finally we have the break. So this allows you to kind of have like a countdown timer on your screen, and this is especially good if you're teaching to students and you want to have a break, or you want to have a breakout session for your students to discuss online and get back to you. And while they are online, they can see how long it takes for them to how long they have before they need to come back. So let's give you an example, and the timer, you can actually set it here. Maybe I'll set it to 5 minutes. Right, so I'll click on OK. So let's do that. So all you need to do is press Control 3. That is what I assigned, and you can see the time down, and you can see the counter ticking down. And I guess that's all about Zoom It. It's a very handy tool, especially if you're having classes or you're having Teams or Google Meet meetings or Zoom meetings for that matter. So you can use your Zoom It app in your Zoom meetings as well. No pun intended. So I hope that will be helpful. My name is Gani, and make sure you like and subscribe my channel. For more tech on app reviews, I typically try to get applications that will help solve problems in your work life or your personal life, and to make your life more productive. So more videos to come. Don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.